We have to move on to the next topic, and it's the World NGO Day. Yesterday was the World NGO Day, a day set aside to celebrate the tremendous work of NGOs and CSOs and all their efforts in advancing development and protecting the rights of the people. Now, in commemorating this very important day, the Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki applauded civil society organizations for their roles in sustaining democracy, holding governments accountable, and advancing the cause of humanity for the greater good of all. Buki, you run an NGO. You run an NGO.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about, so far, the impact NGOs, like yours, have had on the country.
Okay, to be sincere, it's really an eye-opener to run an NGO in Nigeria. And basically, before you go into such things, you have to make your research and go back to history and find out what such institution has contributed to the growth of each nation. And you found out that most developed countries, their civil societies has made their nation better. Take for instance, if not for civil societies and NGOs, most of the best schools that were first established in Nigeria were missionary schools, and they were NGOs. People volunteered to come here. Mary Slessor volunteered as a nurse to come here, to render service. And so far so good. Check out what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did in America. Check out the effects of the civil rights movement, what he has achieved for the African Americans, and check out what individuals are even doing in the United States. Just one person kicked polio out of the world, reducing it to 3%. Just one person, Bill Gates. So I think we're still growing in Nigeria. There's so much we can still do. I was reading on the internet yesterday, and I saw a post, 10,000 sanitary pads for 10,000 girls. Those are things government cannot do. Government cannot answer to all our problems. There are some things that individuals need to rise up to and do. I generally believe that service to God is service to humanity. You understand? And humanity itself is a religion. When you start to think about others, there are so many things. We found out that drugs are killing our youth. It was when I got into the field I noticed that there's so much you can do. I often tell people I meet, if you want to complain about the government, what have you done? No matter how little it is, no matter how small you think that impact is, there's a ripple effect in whatever thing you do. What have you done so far for you to criticize the government? So the impact generally, I see people doing a lot of things. I know somebody that is into mobile library, that is trying to make youth read more. There are people into the girl child.
I think you should take that mobile library to all the betting centers. That's where you catch most of the Nigerian youths. So I'm not trying to be funny.
The rate of betting in Nigeria is alarming.
That's where you catch them.
Quick money, fast money. You understand? So the NGOs presently, we're still coming up. There's so much that we can do. And I tell you, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. I know there's still room for growth, but meeting with people, there was a particular school we went to give them school uniform, and my NGO, we have never gotten a sponsorship from any company or from any government official. We've been running it for 4 years with our own personal funds because we don't want to be compromised. We want to do it for humanity. We got to a school, we got talking to the principal, we told them things we intend to do for the students. You know what? She prayed for almost 15-20 minutes first.
She was overwhelmed.
I said, why? What is it? She said some students wear school uniforms from JSS1 to JSS3, just one pair. And some people, they are not government officials, they are coming to give uniform to schools. That she was just praying. So are we expecting the government to still do that? There are so many things we can take off the shoulder of the government that we can do for ourselves.
All right, that's actually well said. And I know that coming from another angle, because once you have the good one, you definitely have the bad ones.
Sure, definitely.
So the NGO, to some people, the NGOs happens to be something that is, they get to do quick money, like scam, because you know that you know what
they get grants from abroad, and
you're going to come to that.
Yes, because in as much as I like my colleague's statement, he runs an NGO. But for me, the only NGO I know in this country is Red Cross. That is the only sincere NGO that I know. Any other NGO formed in this country well, maybe it's just me, but you know, there is a lot of charade, a lot of scam that has happened.
Going and around it.
You know, everybody wants to own an NGO, and it has become more of a money laundering thing.
Yes. Right.
You know, so at the end of the day, you ask yourself, okay, where is that that service to humanity that you want to do? How far have you gone with it? If I cannot do something, there's no point me pretending that I want to do it. You understand? He is using his money to finance things. I'm very sure one day, when somebody comes and says, hey, sorry, you have been doing a good job. You know, we will give you 20
and gives you
million
an
for this
offer you
project.
can't reject.
We are humans, though.
Everybody has a price.
Everybody has a price.
Anything can happen.
Everybody has a price.
Anything can happen, you know. But for me, an NGO should be an institution that when you see, you would easily recognize and say, yes, these guys are not here to joke. And unfortunately, I remember when I was in secondary school, I joined the Red Cross, I joined the press club, and this. The mentality then was, look, it's service to humanity. Yeah. Whatever you're doing. Sometimes we leave school to go somewhere to help people. That is the mentality of how the NGO should be run. But right now, everybody is setting up an NGO because I know, okay, if I do that, if I stay like 1-2 years, I am writing to international organizations to get grants and funding. And once that comes, my brother, forget NGO.
You're right.
Everything don't turn upside down.
Because now they get to use celebrities as the face.
Yes, exactly.
It's a way to actually make money.
Even for us, we don't try to, whenever we try to ask for support and we notice that there's a layback, we don't try to push because we notice that a lot of people have missed that part of. So what we just try to do is that we're just still doing what we're doing. But our point to the society right now is that we notice that our people celebrate things that comes from outside more than our own. You understand? You can see somebody want to pay to a Rotary Club or a Lions Club 150,000 to register just because it's foreign and for the benefits. But what about our own people? The sufferings of our own people? How are we meeting the everyday needs of our own people? That's just my own take. And I know that out of 10 you can see a 1 or 2. But my own is we should learn to celebrate our own, to appreciate our own.
Sure.
So how am I going to know that students need uniforms if
you did not make an effort?
If I didn't make an effort to go there.
You
understand? So for 4 years, funding, I have a team of our messages. We have Hausas, Igbos, Igbiras, Igalas, Christians, Muslims as teammates in gold mines. What we do is that we're trying to tell the society that ethnicity, religion cannot divide us. You understand? If we come together, we can achieve so much more. Very true. We can touch more lives if we come together.
All right, Mr. Gadi, you have something to say about NGOs in Nigeria?
Yes, I do. I believe my colleague shouldn't make a very blanket statement on NGOs. I think they are very good NGOs. I have come in contact with a few that are very genuine. The owners are well-to-do. They want to give back genuinely to the society. I know one that is actually into providing so-called to widows across Nigeria and is doing very, very well. I mean, he has his own company. He runs a multi-million naira company and is pulling from that. And he's not waiting for anybody. He's not calling on anybody.
So that's his own kind of CSR.
Giving back. And he's actually coming out with a project that is not going to just target at the poor, at the widows alone, but at the active poor. The active poor are those who's basically women, those whose husbands are bedridden, that cannot help them in the rural areas.
Wow.
You understand? So you have those NGOs that are doing very well. In fact, they have complemented the effort of the government so well that what they have done, I don't believe any government in this country could have done in 100 years. My challenge is actually at CSOs who are like compromised now. I think the impact of the NGOs has actually been felt than that of the CSOs.
That's very true.
Sorry, let me, if it sounds like I'm making a blanket statement, that's not really. My point is, you have so many NGOs that are not real.
Yes.
There are some that are real.
I agree with you.
There are bad eggs.
I agree with
bad
you.
eggs in everything.
I know of a pastor, at least it's no longer in use, that built schools, standard schools and everything, and it's free. And the children get uniforms and they are fed and everything.
Yes.
That kind of thing, to me, that is the real spirit of what an NGO should be. He's not begging you for any money. He runs his own church. So for me, that is what we should be looking at. When you have a situation whereby you have an NGO and the next thing you start seeing
them driving very big jeeps,
expensive Ford cars, Range Rovers, and you're asking
and
yourself,
they do less of activities.
Less of activities. You know,
right.
So you start asking yourself, okay, what's this all about? Who have you touched? The next thing, they will buy cartons of Indomie and bag of salt
and go to take pictures
and say, I take pictures and say, no,
put it in the newspapers.
But now we should be channeling our efforts in dragging the government into holding some companies, some firms in Nigeria responsible. There's a corporate social responsibility that big companies should get involved with.
It's not statutory.
You cannot come into my country from another country and you cannot even want to reach out to my community.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Let me say, do you know that? Let us not go into that, because that is not statutory. CSR is not statutory to anyone.
It's not compulsory.
Yes, that's what it says. When it says it's not in the law, it is a willing thing, a mandatory thing. I mean, not mandatory, voluntary thing that you want to do. Now, if you want to accuse a company for doing so much, taking so much from your community without going back, they are paying tax to the government. And government has not come to accuse them that you have not paid your tax. I'm coming.
When you're done,
I'm coming. They've also, they've also employed, people from that environment. Now, what we should be saying is that it's not about compelling them. It's about appealing to them to give back. Because it is your responsibility to eat in your house. And nobody can come and compel you that give it to your poor neighbor if you don't want to.
If you don't want to,
that should be law.
I like your analogy.
Okay, what happens in this scenario where the same company came to Nigeria, a multinational telecommunication company, and they employed, and most of their employees are contract staffs. Why a telecommunication company that was going to that same country, when they got there, in signing whatever agreement they were signing, they told them point blank, there's no contract staff in our country. You have to make everybody staff.
That is it. That is the law. That is the law. That is not CSR. That is the labor law.
No. See, those are labor issues.
Yes, those are labor issues.
Yes.
But I want to ask you. You at least we have very big multinationals.
Yes.
Which of them have you not seen
actually
donate or do something that is CSR? Both in the telecoms, in the food and beverages,
even in the oil sector.
In the oil sector, which of them have you not seen? They virtually all have foundations, and they go to charities and do a lot of things.
The only thing is that those activities are misplaced. What do I mean by misplaced? Why should an oil company with spillages everywhere decided to do a CSR on dental issues? Why do you do that?
To clean up the society.
Instead of that the society will be happier if you clean up the society. Don't even do anything. Just clean up the mess that you have caused, okay, and return that place to nature.
Give us a cleaner environment. Yes.
Return it to nature.
All right. Anyways, Mr. Goddy, somebody here is saying hi to you. He said you have spoken well. Please join the politics of your state. That's from David Esu. All right. This other one say, I enjoy your program, but I expect you to encourage government to pay.
Okay.
And increase, I think this is increased salary structure. Since the principle of demand and supply is no longer working.
Government
Minister
that
of
are
Labor,
owing.
please.
No, it's the Minister of Labor. Governors that are owing staff.
Let's pay. All right, this other one is saying, good afternoon, the boss. I just love you guys. NGO is service to humanity. Everyone can do something at the level where he or she is, not using it to extort international organizations for selfish reasons. On the 10th, I'll be launching a movement I call the Millionaire Mom. Can you imagine? This person is so smart. Like, you just snuck in an advert into your...
Are you ready now? So, there's nothing you can do
about it. Nigerians. All right, anyway, she goes further to say it's all about empowering women to earn residual income. That's brilliant. You can check us out on Facebook. Okay. I can't give out the name. Yes. There's a limit I can go. All right, we are young moms and want to contribute our quota. Thank you, the boss, for this topic. Maka Jewels, thank you so much for sending that one in. Patience, hope you're fine. I'm fine. No, unfortunately, no light yet.
Don't worry. I guess that's another topic.
I think he started with us because he sent a message earlier, but NEPA has, if they are still called NEPA, I don't even know what they are called.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. You know, like, it's that bad. It's that bad. Like, when you just, like, blank out a certain aspect so it doesn't keep bugging you, you know.
Like, seriously, Patience, have you actually visited any of their offices recently?
No.
I guess that's another topic for
another day. Yes. Maybe we'll take the cameras when we're going. That'll be so much content. All right, Abraham Joseph from Kogi State says, my concern is not the NGO, but the NPower. Is there hope for we that just came in? Oh, well, I don't know myself. I'm in the same boat with we are all in the same boat, you know, so we're all just trying to, you know, try not to balance, capsize. That's the word. But I still have hope in this country. It's going to get better. Of course. All right, meanwhile, while we're still discussing the issue of the NGO, we cannot de-emphasize, you know, the importance of, you know, civil society organizations and NGOs, because in a country where the government fails, that is what we have left, you know, to push our cause. And so people must understand that NGOs, CSOs, they play a very important role in the society. Yes, there's corruption in that sector, yes, but like you rightly said, Mr. Ofose, we can't throw a blanket over all of them, because I know some myself. A friend, she was here on the show yesterday. She runs an NGO that takes care of children, especially girl children who are deprived of education, and she goes to the rural, you know, those places that are neglected. That's where she goes to. She pulls them out. They give them books, try to get them into school. And I know, because I've seen it myself. And those kind of people, you cannot but encourage them, because they're doing fantastic work. And like you said also, the government can't do everything. They can't do everything. The level where you are, do something. All right, we're moving to our last topic of the day, which is Lagos State and gun control. I think finally Lagos State
is also doing something. Lagos State and State, yes.
All right, but we'll take a break. Let's go take a dancing moment. Let's go dance, then we'll come back.
Oh my God, our minister.
Is that? Oh, yes, I'm reaching my man.
Last week.